everything's turned to shit. Plan's dead.
This is the plan.
Beyond an ounce of doubt, Sister Sage is the best thing that happened in The Boys Season 4. The smartest person on Earth proved her worth, her skills, and then a bit more by the time the season finale ended. But this was all just a part of the plan she likes to call Phase 1. There's Phase 2 incoming. Here's your spoiler warning. So making Homelander the de facto ruler of America using a puppet president was Phase 1, so what really is her master plan? What really is Sister Sage's Phase 2? How does it relate to the story of Rome and Caesar that Sister Sage and Homelander spoke about in the first episode? Will she be his Brutus? Is she possibly working with Queen Maeve? Well, these are the burning questions that we're here to explore. Everything about Sister Sage and her master plan. So without further ado, let's begin. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
The people will tear it apart themselves. Just gotta nudge them a little.
Step 1, all they needed is a little push or nudge. Once upon a time, the great Heath Ledger quoted as the Joker, madness is like gravity, all it needs is a little push. And Sister Sage, in the first episode of Season 4, quoted, the people will tear themselves apart. We just gotta nudge them a little, so you can see how much these two like anarchy, and how they would go to extreme lengths to do that. The piece of conversation is from the time Homelander went to Sage's apartment to recruit her into the Seven. It was also the time that he wore casuals for the first time ever, which only showed just how desperate he was for her help. No matter what he did, people praised him. He was surrounded by psychopaths, and he was not happy about it. He was not satisfied with himself and wanted to leave his son a better world. Better according to his standards. Sister Sage could see right through it and leapt onto the opportunity. You see, she told Homelander how she could cleanse the world and make it pure, how he could make a world where everyone loved soups, and especially him. However, she was not convinced to join the Seven immediately, but she did agree to it when Homelander showed her a window of an opportunity. And what was this opportunity? It tells her that this was her chance to get out there and put some of her theories into practice on a global scale. Sage is someone who wants to know the limits of what she can do. She could not stop but get wet about the idea that she could manipulate all of America and then maybe the entire world. And from that moment onwards, she started to work for Homelander, albeit on the sidelines for much of the season. However, everything was going according to her plan, and I mean everything. Not only did she manipulate allies like Homelander and the Seven, but also enemies like the Boys. And all of these machinations and schemings have only helped her achieve what she wanted. Yes, she did face a few hiccups and curveballs, but that did not throw her off the path, the destination of which was to make Homelander rise and ensure the Boys were seen as public enemy number 1. So, Sage's Phase 1 was a multifaceted and multi-step process.
You look great. Really suits you.
Welcome, ladies, welcome.
Step 2, play with public perception. The first step of her plan was to ensure that the public support against Homelander coming from the left-wing and progressive Starlighters was crushed. She got this through the incredibly far-sighted plan of getting 3 home teamers sacrificed. Sage handpicked 3 ardent home teamers and got them killed by the Deep and Black Noir, after which A-Train delivered the bodies to the site of the protest, which had been transformed into a riot. Thanks to Sister Sage herself, she knew that people would be too busy to notice that 3 dead bodies had miraculously appeared at the site. Of course, she painted Starlight supporters as dangerous and murderous. Not only were the Starlighters painted with evil colors, but she also ensured that Homelander's cause and criticism towards the Starlighters got more wind and positive public reception. One interesting thing to note here was A-Train's reluctance to beat the 3 Homelander supporters to death. Sister Sage took note of it and understood that A-Train had not given his complete fealty to Homelander and that he may be developing a conscience, something that she would use later on. Anyway, in the aftermath of the riot, 2 men were arrested, innocent men by the way, which led to further public denouncement and demonization of Starlight. Additionally, Sister Sage proved herself before Homelander. Lastly, the sacrifice proved that Sister Sage was ruthless and cunning and held no qualms for violence as long as she was getting what she wanted.
You alright?
Still searching for this leak.
Step 3. Turn adversity into opportunity. The next step was more interesting as she turned a traitor into a valuable asset. A-Train was going through a turmoil because of several things that happened in the past. He was guilty about the paralysis of his brother. His family, including his nephews, had stopped respecting him. He was not sure if he was an evil man or a hero, and unfortunately for him, both sides used A-Train's current state to further their own agenda. A-Train helped the boys in many ways. He helped Starlight with a tape that exonerated her supporters of the brutal murder of the three men. He helped them with finding the shape-shifting assassin hired to kill President-elect Singer, and even told him about the meeting Homelander was holding with Newman. Homelander had been desperately wanting to find the mole but was failing, and Sister Sage was proving to be of little help in this regard. However, after the fight at the boys' headquarters, it became clear that A-Train was the mole, and when confronted, Sister Sage revealed that she knew about A-Train all along. She explains that she needed him as the most efficient delivery guy for misinformation. Yep, Sage had seen what Homelander did to Annika the Analyst. She knew that if she told Homelander about A-Train, he would go for the kill and rip the runner into pieces. Or worse, and she did not want that. She needed A-Train as a reliable means to leak the information to the boys. The information she wanted leaked. I mean, this is how Annie was ultimately captured by the shapeshifters, right? She even went in her The Seven uniform to meet the shapeshifter because she wanted to be seen by A-Train. Getting the speedster killed would not have helped her in any way, so she chose to keep him alive and use him without his knowledge.
Like that?
No, don't tease me like that.
Like that?
Step 4. Play your allies. Using your enemies for your gains is one thing, but using your friends is just pure evil. She took the Deep and molded him into this creature who now loved being superior. The Deep was by far the dumbest member of the Seven, and Sage knew it. Since he was gullible, turning him around, making him work according to her came easy. All she had to do was fuel a bit of his superiority complex and the hatred he shared for Ashley. Sage tells him that he was a stronger and more superior being and should not be taking shit from Ashley. That's what he did, but he also became way more evil and malicious. He even instigated the second Black Noir to embrace and accept his more violent side. He taught him that the original Black Noir loved violence. The two bros even went to take down Starlight and Butcher and Homelander's vague orders. In the season finale, the members of the Seven were asked to take down anyone who could have any damning evidence against anyone from the Seven, especially Homelander. Black Noir kills Ashley's assistant, Ashley, and gets what he calls a murder boner. So yeah, he embraced his violent side and was now prepared to do all things evil.
So, big day. You ready?
You have no idea.
Step 5. Use woman power. Now, Sister Sage played the three most important female characters from the show, namely Firecracker, Starlight, and Newman. Let's talk about them one by one. First, she used Firecracker and her past with Starlight to wreck Firecracker's face and, by extension, Starlight's public image. You see, Starlight had messed up Firecracker's career as a child, and the latter had a deep-seated hatred and anger against Starlight since then. Sage hired Firecracker only because she wanted Firecracker as a weapon to tarnish Starlight's public image. The pseudo-mommy to home milker went on air to tell the world about the abortion that Starlight had. Now, Starlight came from a heavily Christian family, and something like abortion was not taken lightly. She had grown up with the idea that her powers were a gift from God, something that changed later on, but her values were still something that was messing up with her mind. She was not able to decide if she was Annie, the girl who was fiercely independent and confident, or Starlight, the beacon of all things good. In fact, this identity led to the loss of her powers, which is also something Sage had a hand in. Anyway, Firecracker's little stunt ends up in her getting beaten by Starlight to a pulp, which totally villainized Starlight in front of the public. Next, she made Victoria Newman believe that whatever they were doing was for their personal gain. She tells Newman that women like them had to snatch things they wanted from the men around them, which is why Newman went on with Sage's plan even after she was left simple-minded after the bullet from MM to the head.
What are you doing here?
Celebrating. We won. Here.
Bring down the president. Now, for the most important part of Sister Sage's plan, you see, her initial plan was to get Singer killed through Victoria Newman when she got into the office of the vice president. However, although it seemed like a perfect plan, it was too ambitious and hence prone to hiccups. So Sage had a backup ready. She initially planned to use the shapeshifter to pose as Starlight to kill Singer, but Starlight appeared right before that could be done and saved the day. However, Singer spoke loud and clear about how he ordered the assassination of his vice president. Now, this came at a time when the news of Newman's death had just surfaced, which ensured his arrest. You see, although Singer did not die, he was no longer the president, which paved the way for Speaker Calhoun to become the president, who was just next in line. Calhoun immediately called Homelander and offered his fealty to Homelander. Of course, it was Sister Sage who leaked the footage of Singer saying whatever he said about Newman, and now she has complete trust from Homelander. He knows that he must do exactly as she says if he wants to stay in power. Is Sage truly evil? What's her ultimate plan? You see, Sage sent the shapeshifter to Huey as Annie. The shifter made love to Huey on multiple occasions, even proposed to Huey and whatnot. Why would a shifter do all this if not to anger and infuriate Starlight? Yes, the shifter read Starlight's mind and compelled her to see that Starlight was going through a major identity crisis, which is what gave Starlight the strength to break free from the restraint. My question is, the shifter would not go to such extreme lengths just for the kicks unless it was something that Sage ordered the shifter to do, right? Starlight got the clarity that it was okay to be a bit confused about who she is as long as she tries to find a balance. She has gained her confidence back, and it will definitely take her places. In fact, Starlight now has an extreme level of powers, which I believe is the result of her tapping into the solar radiation, which should make sense because she is called, well, Starlight. And these powers manifested for the first time when Starlight was hunted by Cindy, one of the strongest supes. Now, why would Sage send Cindy after her, knowing that Starlight had been depowered? Well, only because she wanted Cindy to act as a catalyst for Starlight to make sense of the word super in superhero. So, I am of the opinion that Sister Sage is not entirely on the wrong side of the needle. I also believe that Sage and Maeve are somehow working together because both of them know that the only way to defeat Homelander is through tarnishing his public opinion. Many believe that when Sage said that there is one person he can ever defeat, she was talking about Soldier Boy or Ryan. But I think it is Homelander himself. He does not just want power, love, and affection, but he needs it as much as he needs breast milk. So it would be his need for these things that would ultimately take him down. Additionally, think about it. She is supposed to be the smartest person alive. In that capacity, she cannot allow an evil and vile force like Homelander, who just so happens to be a man-child, to lead America. Yes, she does probably want to test her theories, but I believe in the end, she would ensure that Homelander falls to the ground and stays there. They were talking about Caesar in episode 1, and now Homelander trusts Sage. She has become his Brutus. And if Brutus is known for one thing, it is backstabbing. Furthermore, Queen Maeve may also have a part to play in Season 5 along with others like A-Train and Ashley, who seems to be turning into a parody of Hulk for Marvel. Maybe a mix of the Toxic Avenger and a Hulk. Only time will tell. No matter what, Sister Sage has been set up as the ultimate kingmaker of the Voice universe, and it would be interesting to see how things pan out. To sum it up, I believe Sage's master plan or Phase 2 would be to ensure Homelander's fall after getting him to a high position. You see, the longer the fall, the deeper the wound. But hey, that's just me. I would love to know what you think about this theory. Welcoming all healthy debate in the comments below. As always, if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.